Hello Smashers and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here full stop, hello and welcome. My name is Jansen Smith and I post the best tips, tricks, tutorials, or generally anything else to do with Amazon FBA. So if that's the sort of thing that you're looking to learn about, please do remember to subscribe. Now in today's video, I'm going to be revealing my sales figures for the month of September, just 1 month. We're in Q4 now, the fourth quarter of the year, which is like undoubtedly the best quarter of the year. You've got like big events like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and of course Christmas shopping, which means that generally sales are up massively. So I feel like a kid at Christmas at the moment. I'm so looking forward to November and December. And the thing that's got me really warmed up is my sales in September. So I'm just going to put a snapshot here for my sales for the month. Now, for those of you that have been following me since I very first started filming in last August 2018, you'll know that this is a record month for me outside of the Christmas kind of period. Last December, I think I did about £30,000 in the month, which I was just blown away by. And just look what I've achieved now in the month of September, £35,000 in 1 month. I'm absolutely blown away by it, and especially when I'm reminded about how little work I kind of do on a daily basis, but more about that later. So you can see from my sales here, I've increased my sales figures by 100% from the previous 30 days. And I put this down to the fact that I'm continuously optimizing my listing and just looking for ways to improve it. I'm always looking through my reviews like an absolute madman, trying to find ways that I can improve it and improve the product, which I have done. Whenever I've received a bad review, I've always gone back to my supplier and said, we need to fix this. How can we improve it? How can we make it clearer to the customer that this is what you're meant to do? And it's really paid dividends. Today, I got the 20th 5th star in a row, and I'm back up to my 5-star rating. So hopefully my sales for Q4 are going to be significantly higher than this, which is just incredible. So if we look at those sales, you can see that on one day, I nearly hit £1,800 worth of revenue, and I nearly broke my record for sales in 1 day. I got 90 sales in 1 day, and my record last year was 92, so you can imagine how pleased I was. One person, guys, he just must have loved my product. He bought 30 of my product, which is fantastic. I think I made £200 worth of profit just off him, and I think he's actually going to be selling it in his shop because the address it went to was a shop. So that's amazing. If I ever see that in real life, then I'll be absolutely blown away. Now, before you guys start jumping down my throat and going, yeah, Jansen, that's revenue, but how much is your profit? Don't worry, I'm going to reveal it. Firstly though, I did want to kind of address that point and say to those guys that always say, yeah, but it's revenue, you're not talking about your profit. I just want to point out how difficult it actually is to get this amount of sales. It's not like a complete walk in the park. I think some people just kind of think if you're talking about revenue, then it's not impressive whatsoever. £35,000, regardless of whether I'm making profit or not, is difficult to get. You have to have an optimized listing. You've got to know how to do your pay-per-click advertising, all things like that. So guys, whenever you see other people's results on Amazon and they're only talking about revenue, don't just automatically write it off and think it's rubbish, because the revenue figure, if it's pretty high, if it's above £10,000 in a month, that does actually show that the person's putting quite a lot of effort and determination in order to get that. So my sales, however, £35,000, I'm really happy with. I operate on a 30 to 35% profit margin, depending on my sales split, because I've got 2 products. But overall, after pay-per-click advertising and things have been taken into account, I'm operating on a 20% profit margin. So for the month of September, I've made £7,000, £8,000 worth of profit, which is crazy. Don't forget that I'm still fully employed. I still do Amazon as a hobby, a side hustle thing. And a lot of people message me and they say, why have you not quit your job yet if you're earning this money? And the reason is that I just think that if I did quit my job, I just end up being sat at home in my pants bored all day. I really enjoy like being busy and like just having something on the go at all times, and I don't actually mind my job like that much. So I think it's great, you know, when I'm on my way to work and when I'm coming home from work, I can just be like looking at Amazon and like thinking of different ways to improve and make more money. So that's the reason that I haven't quit my job, and just generally I'm a bit of an entrepreneur. I love making money, so at the moment I'm not willing to give up my income stream of my full-time job. That's not to say that you guys can't, but I just love money too much to be blunt about it. So let's go on to the second part of the video. We're going to be talking about how much like time do I actually spend on Amazon FBA, and how much time should you be spending on Amazon FBA? So in terms of my kind of like daily routine when it comes to Amazon FBA, so I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I do. This isn't to say this is the best way to do it or anything like that. This is just to give you guys an insight into the sort of things that I get up to. So the first thing that I do when I wake up, it's just become a habit now, is I just go onto my listing to kind of check for new reviews and just to see if I've had any new questions or comments from customers. So that's the first thing I do, and I'd say that takes probably 3 or 4 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day max when I'm checking reviews. So that's on a daily basis. Then I'll like go to work, and on my way to work, I'll be checking my emails. If I've got any questions from customers, or if I've had any replies from my follow-up sequence, then I'll reply to the customer. So that generally, again, I do it on my way to work when I've like got reception on my phone. That generally takes maximum 10 minutes a day. And that's actually it in terms of like what I do for Amazon in the day. In the evening, when I get back from work, again, I'll check my messages. And for the first time at 7 p.m, I've actually like rationed myself now. 7 p.m, I'll check my sales, and I'll check like how my pay-per-click advertising is done for the day before. So that's the point when I'll kind of like look to optimize my advertising or anything if it's required. Again, that doesn't really take a huge amount of time. I've put like 10 minutes a day that I think I spend roughly on that. In reality, it's probably actually a bit less. So 10 minutes a day. Now that's my daily routine. Now in each week kind of varies actually. So some weeks I'll talk to my supplier or suppliers quite a lot, talking about new products and ways to improve the product and things like that. And that kind of varies, but I kind of had to think about it, check my conversation history, and I think I talk to my supplier probably for around 15 minutes in total a week. I do everything on my phone, so I do it all on Skype. It's really, really easy. Again, I just do it on my way to work, or just do it at my desk or whatever. Like, it's just exact same as like texting a friend, to be honest. So that's kind of like my daily routine. Now, if you add up all the minutes that I think I actually do spend on Amazon FBA, like the essentials, so I would say those are the essential activities, that equates to 8 hours a month. Now, if you're to look at my like hourly rate, therefore, that's £1,250 profit that I'm getting paid for every hour that I spend on Amazon FBA, which is just crackers. It's bonkers. And you know, if that doesn't persuade you to try and get involved in the Amazon FBA world, then honestly nothing will. Now, for those of you that are in the Amazon FBA Smashers group, or for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that I just love Amazon FBA. Like, I'm so passionate about it. I love like making money and helping others and teaching others how to do it and things like that. So those activities there that I was just talking about are the essentials, and those are what I would say everyone needs to do if they're doing Amazon FBA. Now, in terms of the extra things, I am very guilty of spending probably far too much time on Amazon FBA things, because as I say, I just love it. I love thinking of ways to improve my product and just become like the number one in my niche. So other activities that I've done in this week, for example. So this week I got home from work, I rushed to my laptop, really excited, and you know what I did? I started to translate my instructions manual into French, German, Spanish, Italian, and I think maybe even Portuguese. Like, I know a few people from these countries. I was looking online at translations and all things like that. That is not an essential activity. but it's essential for me because I'm launching in Europe and I want to make sure that I become the number one in all of those countries in Europe. I want to be the top seller. So that's an activity that I did, and I think that took me about 2 hours in total this week. I've also been registering for VAT throughout all the different countries in Europe. That's kind of like a one-off event. And that's taken me, I'd probably say in total around 3 hours of like filling forms out and speaking to my tax agent and just generally learning about the whole process so I can help you guys in the Smashers group. Then in addition to that, as I said, I want to be the number one. I want to carry on growing. I've been working with a friend on building a website, so away from Amazon, so I can start to advertise on Facebook this Christmas and kind of, increase my sales even further from a different platform to Amazon. So that has taken a bit more time. That's probably taken around 12 hours this month. But again, it's very similar to Amazon. Once you put all the hard work in up front, it really pays dividends. It's all done now. My website's all coded. It's linked to like ShipStation and Amazon. So when I start getting sales, I just literally will get a notification on my phone and, jobs are good in. So that as well. And then additional things is like learning how to do Facebook, just generally learning. So that's what takes up a lot of my time. And do you know what else takes up quite a bit of my time as well? It's just helping you guys, helping my students, helping the Amazon FBA Smashers like questions in the group, which I don't mind doing. As I say, I absolutely love Amazon. I love learning about it and teaching others how to do it. So that is kind of like what my week and what my month looks like. And now in terms of like how much time you should be spending on it or how much time you feel like you should, the answer is to the question, how long does Amazon take? It's entirely down to you. I would say the absolute essentials, once you've found the product, which will take a bit of time, once you've branded it and once you've ordered it, how much time you spend on it is entirely down to how hungry you are and how determined you are to make as much money as you want. At the end of the day, the world is your oyster. You've got so many options. You can launch in Europe, you can launch in Japan, you can launch in the USA. You can just launch off Amazon altogether. There are so many things, so many options in this day and age for you to completely scale and launch your brand. And it all comes down to how hungry you are. So I would say, guys, at an absolute minimum, once you've launched everything, you should expect to be spending minimum 8 hours a month, earning hopefully £1,200 an hour profit like me. And then it's entirely down to you whether you want to earn more. If you're happy with that amount, then you don't need to work anymore. You don't need to spend anymore. But if you want to be earning the maximum amount, I mean, my ideal, I'd love to be on £1 million a year. That would be just incredible. So that's what I've got in my head. I'm not going to stop until I'm the number one in Europe, until, I'm selling in Europe and Japan and the USA. But those are not essential things to do whatsoever. So guys, hopefully, again, that's provided some motivation at just how much money you can make with Amazon FBA. I think a lot of people kind of look at Amazon and think it's oversaturated or it just seems too good to be true. I'm really hoping that my results here and that my kind of mini diary about how much time I actually spend on Amazon, I'm hoping that that'll give you the motivation to actually start your journey today. So that's it for this week, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video and hopefully I can come back to you in January posting an update of my sales in the fourth quarter of the year. I feel like a kid once again. I'm so excited for Christmas to arrive. Actually not for Christmas to arrive. I kind of want it to be November and December, like the build up to Christmas. But you know what I mean. So anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give me a like and you can post a comment below if you've got any requests or anything like that. Do feel free to do so in the comment section. Otherwise, guys, I will see you next time.